Yeah.
I worry that
Yeah.
Tula's are too close
Oh,
to the edge of the
thank you.
stairs that she'll end up scaring Tula. Bella's going to fall
Oh,
off.
yeah, I don't want that.
No.
Thank you. Breezy night for the lottery. We're going to try Mega Millions is $280 million. So we're going to try our special number mix. Okay. Then we're going to get a brewski. Play our strategy. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Hello, how's it going tonight?
Good. $1.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a good night, sir. It's like who's creeping up on my hood, dog? All right. People creeping up in my hood. That's not what I'm talking about. Shit. Yeah. Hey, Two. Dude,
Billy about
you're
made
my love.
barked at her and then went
Oh,
on the bed. And then it got quiet.
Tula. You're my love ruler. Yeah. Ooh.
The nose? No, it was coming. No, it was coming. She was looking down that door. I said, hey, nobody else is coming.
Nobody else is coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now, when you walk the dogs, or do walkies, you wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Or one shirt a day, right?
Yeah.
You don't wear it for 2 days. Okay.
This is one walking shirt a day.
Okay, for dogs and
Dogs and
You know, you like my shirt? I got it.
yeah, that's great.
You need it.
That looks fantastic.
No, I don't know why I bought it. I just
Oh,
saw it.
well, you liked it, yo. I love the puppy dog. That's so cute. Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. Oh yeah, that's for sure. She'll do well. That's a big girl. Yeah. Got the McBeer. See, we froze our McDonald's cup from Monday, so we created the McBeer. And I'll show you how the McBeer works. Basically, we have this cylindrical cup, and then I put the McBeer on top. And then that's going to create like kind of a mini cooler on the McBeer. Yeah. Got that McBeer. And then we pour the McBeer. So, yeah. Oh, I spilled some. Spilled some of my beer, which wasn't cool. Alright, it's alright. Oh. McBeer. McBeer, beer. Ooh, ooh. Get that McBeer. Oh yeah. McBeer, McBeer. Ooh. McBeer gives me cheer. Oh dear. Ooh. Oh, okay. All right. So if I get the numbers matched up for the Mega Millions tonight, some of those, then it'd be 10 times what I paid. So it's 10x on it. Times. So the more numbers I would get, it would be 10 times that. So. I guess that means if I win $5, then what? 10 times? 10x means I get $50, right? So. Man, it's hot and fucking humid. No. Our next door neighbor blew up. Older couple, they're boomers, I guess. They're almost 70 years old. And yeah, they're both on Social Security, but you know, Social Security really isn't enough. Even if you work real hard all your life, it's not really enough to get by, you know, to survive. Especially with rising costs and if you're trying to own a home and all that stuff. With this heat, and then you add financial problems to this heat, humidity, and you add the higher cost of living, and that's going to cause stress and strain for many people out there. So they had quite a big fight, the next door neighbors, really loud today in the heat of the day. I don't know, would that be the time I'd have a fight? Probably at the maximum heat threshold. Maybe that would be a time I would have a fight with my relatives or my roommates when the heat and the stress and everything and thinking about money finally made you snap. That's why I think it's always wise to have a financial plan, so you don't get caught in this kind of situations. You never want to be sitting around a group of people and going, oh my God, we don't have any fucking money. What are we going to do? Yeah, a lot of Americans are in that situation right now after the Biden-Harris, Bidenflation, that awful economy. So getting out of it is difficult. To repair the damage because so much savings and so much property was lost and just so many people's futures and retirements were just thrown into total and complete ruin and chaos. And so recovering from that takes a lot of hard work. But, the thing about it is a lot of these people, they're already old. So they're like, oh shit, I got to go get a job at Walmart when I'm fucking 70. It's like, oh my God, I gotta go make minimum wage. Yeah. That's work until you die. Which I'm not a big fan of work until you die unless you have to. But work until I die, it's like, oh fuck no. Fuck that shit. For real. Yeah. So it's better to get a financial game plan to win. And then so I have this ice. And then here's the McBeer from the McCafe that used to house the Sprite for Monday's McDonald's Monday. And then so, yeah. Get that McBeer chilling like a villain, even with this brutal heat and humidity in Houston, Texas. The McBroody. Oh, I don't want anybody to catch my winning Mega Millions ticket. So it's like $280 million is the jackpot, but then after cash value option is 126 million take home. Oh man. Yeah. All right. Ooh yeah. Ooh. That'd be some good money. Yeah. Okay. Put that up in the wallet there. The billfold, as it were. Yeah, maybe they have those things on Twitter X, but like in this economy, they're always like, would you do an honest thing if you found like $500 on the ground? It's like in this economy, I don't know about that. In this state of the economy, I think it's kind of like the Titanic, every man, woman, and child for themselves. You know what it really is? This economy is like, grab that cash while you can, because I mean, in this economy, $500, if you found it on the ground, that's the difference between, eating and not eating, or, not having the lights, or not paying the rent, or being homeless or something. I mean, that's serious stakes. Now, if I found some money on the ground, I would be just like Josh Brolin in No Country for Old Men. I'd be like, even if there was dead bodies, I would just grab the shit and I would run. Just like in that movie. Wouldn't give a fuck. If Mexican drug cartels shot it out, and that's all I saw a big fucking briefcase filled with $2 million, and everybody was dead, and nobody found out. I would just go bleep and just fucking run. Yeah, I would hope there would. I would probably. I wouldn't keep it in the same briefcase or the same suitcase, right? In case I had a tracking device. Maybe I'd check the bills, make sure there wasn't a tracking device. I was really smart, but. And then I'd be gone. I'd be gone like a ninja in the night, like a phenomenon ninja. I'd be the main phenomenon nigga. No, I'm not going to change the channel to phenomenon nigga because, you know, there's certain problems with that. Somebody might get offended and report me to the censors or whatever. My feelings were hurt. Someone said phenomenon nigga. And then YouTube, Google, Alphabet Corporations. He said the N-word. It hurt my feelings. Ooh. My feelings. My feelings are more important than people's freedom of speech. Obviously, my feelings are way more important. My feelings are way more important than the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment. Because, you know, feelings are the most important thing in society. You want to get into that? You really want to hit that belch note? If you want to improve your guitar? So you go, and then the other one you need to hit is the and you're there. I think you're on the way to superstardom after that, I think. You're on your way to becoming a superstar. Yeah. I think my friends, who wanted to start a rock band in the late 90s, for my generation, the millennials, and at the beginning of the 21st century, I think they failed to realize something about the music industry, and that it was changing extremely rapidly from the 20th to the 21st century. So I don't think that they factored in the technological factor of the computers. So I think the reason for that is that in the 90s and 2000s, you could kind of ignore computers. You could kind of be like, you know, that guy who was like, oh, fuck computers. You know, it was a kind of a luxury that it was like, oh, screw computers, fuck the internet, you know. And that's for nerds, you know, that kind of Cobra Kai kind of shit. Like, oh, that's for nerds. I'm not going to learn how to do computer code. Fuck, learn the code, and all that programming code and all that shit. That's for fucking nerds. Fuck that shit. I'm going to do something cool. Like Johnny from Cobra Kai, right? William Zabka. I'm not a fucking computer nerd. Yeah. So I think a lot of the rock bands of the time thought to themselves, you know, we'll just rock out. We'll just get music deals the old-fashioned way. We'll just go into the garage like the old bands from the 1970s. And we'll just go work on our songs, and then we'll start doing shows, and then eventually, magically, and then maybe we'll scrounge enough money and record an EP or record a an LP, record an album, if they could afford it. And so the idea was that they were going to do something old school, like maybe from the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, and send the material off to the music company and get a record deal. And it was going to be... and after that, they were going to live happily ever rocking. Yeah. I think a lot of the bands at the time didn't really understand the technological revolution was on its way in the computers and internet. And so they didn't consider how much the music industry would be changed by technology and how you couldn't divorce technology from the music industry. That was impossible, basically. That those two things, music and technology, were one and the same, and they grew together, or failed to grow together, but they are inexorably linked together in the chain of time in music. So I don't think bands in the late 1990s and early 2000s that wanted to make it as groups understood how important understanding the internet and internet marketing and digital marketing would be to promoting their band. So and getting it noticed and recognized. I guess they thought they would just go into a club and play, and then some guy would just be in there, some kind of talent scout, and be like, oh my God, these guys blew me away. Yeah, that sort of thing. Or they'd send in a demo to, a music company, and they'd say, oh my God, these guys are fabulous, sign them. Yeah. People hate Cher because she's now like a deranged, Trump syndrome leftist or something. Trump derangement syndrome leftist gone loony, People that don't have the luxury of milking the teats of this country, well, they actually have to survive in this country. And so I don't think a lot of rich liberals like Cher or Robert De Niro or Alec Baldwin realize that all those people that bought their shit throughout the last, 40 years or so, and beyond, those are the people that supported Donald Trump, a lot of us, and how we are totally disgusted at these rich, elite, bi-coastal liberals that have shit on the American public that has funded their lavish and wealthy lifestyles for all these years, that they took a big shit on us and betrayed us. And I didn't even feel like going into the Fox comments after Elijah Blue Allman overdosed and or had to go to the hospital for erratic behavior and his continued struggle with drugs. Probably heroin, opiates, fentanyl, Chinese, Mexican fentanyl. So I didn't even feel like I was going to write, oh man, fuck Cher, she's supported, she's just like, why don't she go up with Rosie O'Donnell and move to another country with their Trump deranged, all these rich elite liberals, George Clooney, fucking Alec Baldwin, Robert De Niro, get the fuck out of here if you want. If you don't like the results of the election, you get your ass out of here and leave. and go move to another fucking country because we don't need you. And somebody already wrote that for me, so I didn't have to write that. But I didn't even feel like writing it because I was like, well, this is just getting old. I mean, this is getting old, telling people the fucking truth of what's happening, and nobody's fucking listening. You know, it's just... What's the old song goes? There ain't no point of talking if nobody's listening. You know? So I decided, instead of just giving a rant about Cher sold us out, because you know all those fucking records that I bought, and or at least my parents and my grandparents bought of Cher and Sonny and Cher, all those people would have voted for Donald Trump probably. All those fucking people that gave her lavish lifestyle were probably, at least partially, Republicans and conservatives. So I consider that a great betrayal of the bi-coastal elites, is that they sold middle America out, the very people that gave them their fortunes in the first place. So that really pisses me off. That does seem like they're traitors to the American Republic and to the American people. It really does. Now, I'm not going to go get every Cher album in there and burn it and throw it in the trash. I'm not, Sonny and Cher. I'm not going to go get, every fucking Alec Baldwin and Robert De Niro movie in our movie collection and go burn it and throw it in the trash. It's not happening. But I am disappointed to a great degree in these people. So... the story in Fox News is that Greg Allman, one of the principal Allman Brothers in the legendary Allman Brothers group, his son that he fathered was Cheryl Sarkisian. No, Cher. I know people probably think that Cher is Italian. No, maybe partially or something, but she's not full Italian just because she was in Moonstruck. She's Cheryl Sarkisian, so she's like Slovenian or Romanian or Hungarian or something, at least partially. So I know usually the broads that look that good. Usually the women that look that good with the brunette and the long hair, usually those they're Italian women that look really that good, those sultry brunettes like that. She probably does have some Italian ancestry, but there's some Czech or something in there too. Sarkisian, that's Eastern Europe. So that doesn't necessarily mean she's Jewish, but So in the comments section, there was a lot of anti-Cher, anti-leftist Hollywood, which I would expect in the Fox News conservative Republican comments, but. There was a lot of, Cher was a shitty mother, so no wonder her son is screwed. Yeah. I expected those comments too. You know what my comments for Cher and her son in the Allman family? Yeah, the Allman Brothers, they provided shitloads of awesome music over the years. Legendary music. Cher, and especially Sonny and Cher, had a few hits and a lot of great, memorable tunes. and a lot of memorable comebacks, I suppose. And so I don't have every Cher record or Sonny and Cher record, but I appreciate it's. I know her voice was kind of campy. It was like oh or some shit, but I don't really care. It was like oh or some kind of wacky shit, but I don't give a shit. Well, that's what made her music so unique, is that she was like had some weird voice, and I mean it was wacky, but it was great. Whatever kind of tone that voice was. What was it? Some kind of alto special. So that's some kind of special vocal signature there. Really, Cher really paved the way for grunge. If you think about it, she's like, and then a lot of the people in grunge, it would be like Lane Staley and stuff, like, I mean, I think she kind of paved the way for that vocal style. That kind of shit. Cher paved the way for grunge. No. Neil Young was called the Godfather. Speaking of Trump derangement syndrome, look at that guy. My God, these people get 70, 80. They just fucking lose it, don't they? They're just like, fuck Trump, fuck him. I'm going to have to move back to Canada. I think I'm going to get deported. Is that their way of staying relevant? Or is that their way of do they really think what they're doing and saying is cool? Or it's so cool. It's so cool. It is so rebellious. It is so cool. It's so rebellious to rebel against what everybody voted for. That is so fucking cool. Or it's so revolutionary is doing what everybody else is doing. That's oh man, that's so revolutionary. On that same token. So all the leftists and liberal wealthy people and elites are moving to other countries. Ellen DeGeneres to France, Rosie O'Donnell to Ireland. Not all of them are leaving. That's why a lot of on conservative comments on websites, they're like, well, hey, pack your shit. Why aren't you leaving it? You said you were going to leave if Trump was reelected. Well, pack your shit and get the fuck out. Go. You want to move to another country? Go. What's the irony? The irony and the big time irony of all these wealthy elite by coastal elite leftist liberal Democrat Party types leaving that are multimillionaires is that they have the money to leave. So if you're poor and you're a leftist, you can't do a protest and go move to France unless you get some fucking bucks. Yeah, that's the big irony of it, isn't it? It's that only your elite people can move if they want to protest Trump, and there's millions of people who can't afford it. Isn't that just the shit of it? Isn't that the irony of it? It's amazing. That's one of the amusing ironies I find about Rosie O'Donnell leaving to Ireland. It's not like I give a shit. I mean, I don't really support that what she stands for anyway. For all I know, Kathy Griffin and Rosie O'Donnell or has been, D-list celebrities that are just trying to elevate their status by, I suppose, the liberal Hollywood for the C and the D-listers, maybe some of the B and the A-listers that are just not as relevant. Their strategy is to say, fuck Trump, and that's their way when they're aging and not getting as many parts and no one cares as much anymore, or their records aren't selling anymore and no one cares to see their shows because they're a fading star. Their way they could stay relevant is, hey guys, I moved to Scotland. I couldn't stand Trump. Yeah, don't y'all still care about me that I'm anti-Trump? see, I'm anti-Trump and I moved to Scotland. I don't see. I moved out of America. Aren't you guys proud of me? Yeah, aren't I so cool? Yeah, I'm somebody important. Look at me. Yeah, I think that's also part of it. Yeah, just not just only a Trump derangement syndrome, but also a Trump narcissism, like a personal narcissism that if they resist or defy Trump, that their status will somehow win or be elevated or be successful in any way, which I don't necessarily think is true. They just end up looking like fools ultimately. Yeah, they show clips all the time of Rosie O'Donnell in Ireland, and she's just like, "Hey, I'm still here. Does anybody care? I moved to Ireland to defy Trump. Does anybody fucking care that lives in America? Hey, I left America. Americans, do you really care that I left America? Hey, Americans. Hey, I used to be an American, but I moved back to Ireland, my ancient family home or something like that. Or I moved to Ireland and I betrayed my own country. Aren't I such a patriot for betraying my own country? Woo! What a fucking hero. Wow. Man, that is so bold. Yeah. Leaving the United States of America when you claim to be a supporter of America is fascinating logic. That doesn't make fucking shit of sense. See, the logic doesn't make sense. If you supported America, then you would have fucking stayed in America. Bullshit. The real truth is that Rosie O'Donnell is an E-list or F-list celebrity with a fading star, politics and sexual orientations that hardly anybody gives a shit about. Do you see him sometimes? Do you see some of the liberal single women sometimes and you think, man, they look like Rosie O'Donnell. They have the wrinkles. They're all from the old century, from the last century, 20th century. They got white or gray hair and they look like dykes and they're angry at men and they want to get revenge and they look just, miserable in their existence. Miserable in their existence. Well, I guess Bjork used to say, it takes courage to enjoy it. Yeah. And so, are single people happier? Single men and women? Yeah. Well, after the fights I've been seeing and the divorce rates I've been seeing in America, you know what? It doesn't exactly compel me to get married. It doesn't even compel me to even work hard. It doesn't compel me to do shit. I'm just like, you know what? It looks like human civilization is going down the shitter. Like, big time. Big motherfucking time for a while. And it's just accelerating, right? The entropy level, the chaos level, the disorder. And so I'm just like, well, if humanity is on a collision course with World War III and artificial intelligence robotic takeover, then again, how much should I emotionally and physically and mentally invest in such a civilization that looks kind of, in a way, not totally doomed, but doomed, sort of, you know? Why don't I just enjoy it? Why don't I just play some songs? Listen to the CCR? You know, listen to the Beatles, play some guitar, write some songs, drink a little beer, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, like KC and the Sunshine Band. Why not? Fuck it. What? Next you're gonna get staring down a drone terror attack by a Chinese AI or some shit like that. I mean, fucking, I don't care anymore. You know, it's just like too much. It's like too many centuries, too much bullshit, too many people, too much shit, too much bullshit. Just don't care anymore. Yeah. I have become comfortably numb. Yeah. Fuck it. You know what? My Bible is the Big Lebowski, where the dude just sits on his ass and he's just Zen Buddhism, smokes a joint and drinks a fucking rum and I mean, why would I? And even if I did work super hard and got a lot of shit, a woman would just take my shit. You know what I mean? No, the old ladies look miserable that are single around here. But the couples, though, they look miserable, too. Like the older couples, they look like, ugh. Yeah, like miserable as shit. Why would I want to endure that kind of misery? It's so much better just to do your own thing, man. It's so much better just to get the surfboard and go to fucking Santa Monica, fool, and just go fucking surf and just chill, dude. It's so much easier. It's so less stressful than having to put up with a corporate job that's fucking 40, 80 hours a week just sucking and grinding your life away, man. It's not even fucking worth it anymore. It's just not. And even when I was grinding that shit away, we could barely afford the rent anyway. Charles Bukowski. Don't try. I like that. Jim Morrison and the Doors. Don't do anything. Don't go anywhere. Just be. No, maybe not that bad. That's a little extreme. That's a little bit nihilistic to do that. All right. Okay, feed your goldfish. Take care of your dogs. Take care of yourself. Yeah, take care of your family and stuff like that. I'm not saying neglect all responsibilities. I'm just saying like. It's just, man, you gotta take it easy, dude. You gotta take her easy, dude. Can you imagine like the 30th anniversary of the Big Lebowski? Yeah. We should fucking go to Big Lebowski Fest or something. Wherever it's at. Is that in like Pennsylvania or something? Go to the biggest fucking Lebowski Fest in the fucking United States. Hey, you might not get laid, but you might get some reefer. Probably guaranteed. It might be a fucking sausage fest. There might not be young punani. There might not be hot babes there. But weed, there will be shitloads of beer and weed and psychedelics and mushrooms at the Big Lebowski 30th Anniversary Festival. For sure. Even if you look around and you're like, oh fuck, it's a bunch of dudes. Did I go to the Homo Festival? That's not what I signed up for. is this the homoerotic festival? Oops. No, you'll see like, oh, it's the Big Lebowski festival. Okay. I think there's enough female fans of it. I don't think it's just a male or homo-centric movie. Okay. Hey, you might even if there might be some hot lesbians there. You know, right? Because Julianne Moore is a lesbian. Yeah, I know that probably broke a lot of young guys' hearts. They were like going to see beautiful Julianne Moore and all these movies in the 90s, early 2000s. And then she's like, I'm a lesbian. And then the guys were like, oh, fuck. Well, you're still beautiful, but fuck, you know. There goes that fantasy. Definitely one of the hottest gingers ever to hit the screen, besides the very straight Amy Adams. Ooh. She blows the fire crotches out of the water. Damn. Even Julianne Moore. She's like the queen of the fire crotch. Fire crotch. Fire crotch. Fiery pussies. I was just kidding on that one. I was testing to see if somebody would keep on watching if I said fiery pussies into the beer. Thankfully, somebody does. That's good. Fiery pussies. Hot. Redhead bitches. Ooh, yeah. Fiery pussies. Bitches. I don't know if I want to write that song, dude. Sounds a little crazy. Yeah, I guess the old America felt like freedom because all you had to do was just get a job. And then you made it in society. You weren't a loser then. Pretty much. In the old days, our fathers and grandfathers, they got an employment and then automatically they weren't losers. Boom. Yeah. They made some money and the dollar was strong and the goods were abundant. And cheaper. Yeah. So back in the day, guys, if you wanted to make it, you just basically had to get a job. Yeah. Then you could get a girl, and then you could get a house, and then you could maybe have a little kingdom of your own, you know? A little slice of heaven, or the American dream. Right? And you could get a plot of land, you could build a house on it, and you could have your wife, and you could have your children, and you could afford your groceries, and you could afford your shit, your bills. You had your own little slice of the American dream. Even if you weren't a doctor, a lawyer, or a trust fund baby, or a Wall Street, broker. Even if you weren't like an admiral in, even if you weren't like a big, CEO. Even if you weren't Steve Jobs, you could still have a great life. You could still have a really awesome life. But yeah, because your goods could buy more. And your job had growth potential. And most of the manufacturing in the world was done at first in the United States before the United States sold out to China to make that the manufacturing hub of the world. So to the destruction and the malfunction of the West, as we have seen, and the peril of the U.S. dollar and the debt, which is $37 trillion. Yeah, I remember the old America where people could have a job and they could get laid and they could have families and they could move up in the system. They could go from a shack to an apartment to a house to a mansion even. Now, what happened to the American dream? Now it's hollowed out, gutted out. Now it's just as George Carlin would say, have you seen it lately? Have you seen America lately, folks? Do you remember when it was beautiful? Do you remember when it was gorgeous? It was nice when we first had it. Now look at it. Now look at America. Working man's dead. I declare working man dead like the Grateful Dead. Working man's dead. Working man ain't making it. Working man can't fucking do it. Can't put food on the table. Can't keep the lights on. Can't keep the house bought. Can't pay the rent. It's over. Working man's dead. Grateful Dead. I don't declare the death of man or mankind or human civilization, but I do declare, and frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh, in Gone with the Wind. I'll tell you the truth. My stepdad had a movie poster when I was a kid of Gone with the Wind and Casablanca. And when I watched Casablanca, I loved it when I got older. But then they had a 4-hour anniversary edition at AMC theaters, and I tried to go sit through Gone with the Wind. I walked out after like an hour. I got bored. I was like, dude, this kind of is fucking slow, dude. I mean, I'm not going to wait 4 hours so a guy can say, bitch, I don't give a damn. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to wait 4 hours to see that. Maybe I would have stayed and said, bitch, get the fuck out of here, bitch. And Frank and Scott, I don't give a fucking goddamn. I would have been like, yes, this movie kind of captures me. No, it's just a little bit too old school. No, I didn't walk out when it showed the black maids and stuff going, yes, ma'am, boo, boo, boo. When they said like Aunt Jemima and shit. No, I didn't even, I was just like, whatever. Like, if I saw like slave people, like, you know, in the Civil War or something, a Civil War movie, that doesn't really offend me because it's like, it's a Civil War movie, right? They had slaves back then, or they had plantation slaves and shit. They had indentured servitude. It doesn't offend me because I read my history, so I realized what the history was. So I'm just like, oh, okay. There's Mammy. There's Aunt Jemima. Massa, what can I get for you, son? Yeah, I mean, that's Well, they learned how to speak English. I mean, at first, what was their language when they were in Africa? Some shit. What was Africans' language when they were in Africa? All those different tribes in there. It was probably like. I mean, yes, and massa is kind of an improvement. Come on. And now they've evolved to May I ask you a question? So they're getting better at their English, I think. Now, I'm thinking to go do something. I'm fixing to go do something. I am fixing to go do something. I'm thinking to go. I'm thinking to. Diggity diggity chibbity chibbity libbity libbity. Diggity diggity riggity riggity. I'm figgity diggity. No diggity. Higgity diggity. Whatever. I mean, you know what? You know, the African interpretation of English is you gotta admit, at least it's kind of interesting. It's kind of come on, the sub-Saharan African, the African or the foreign interpretation of English is quite fascinating, to say the least. The Queen's and the King's English, is it not? So, you know, on that token, I am fascinated by it. Why do you think so many white people buy rap music? It's fascinating to us. I'm digging to go ask a question and stuff. It's like, wow. It's totally improper English, but it's so fascinating. The improper usage of the English language. It is so cool. I dare not call it illiteracy. I call it creativity. Not. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, right. Alec Baldwin, don't let the door hit you on your ass as you leave the United States of America. Fuck you, Alec Baldwin, suck my ass. Fuck you, Alec Baldwin, suck my ass. I kind of deviated from the story a bit, I would say. I would suppose that was more than a segue. That was a massive detour on the literary narrative journey, which is the Phenomeninja video experience. Quite a detour in the Phenomeninja Negro experience here. Well, it's kind of hard not to play the bass notes, because the bass notes are, as we're all aware, deep. So we were going back to the original story, which was something like this. What was the original story, by the way? I think it was, I think I got too drunk to remember. Yeah. Damn biological processor. Fuck. If I was a robot, I would do much better. Only if I was an android. Think of the feats I could achieve. Oh yes, we're going back to the story of Cher and Greg Allman. And Elijah Blue Allman was put in the hospital for erratic behavior. The son of Cher and Greg Allman. What is true is that the longer that the son of Cher and Greg Almond lives, the longer time goes on, the less people give a shit about Greg Almond, the Almond brothers, Cher, Sonny and Cher. So he's kind of riding on lost time since he's like 48 years old. So he could milk this shit out in the late 90s, early 2000s. But now that he's almost 50, he can't milk this tit. He can milk the estates and the legend of his father and mother and Sonny and Cher. He can milk the tit of his family financially if he's, not excluded from their will. So when he gets an inheritance, if they pass away, if he survives heroin addiction, then he'll get probably quite a pretty penny if he's not, disowned from the stipends, from the financial glory of his parents. However, yes, his mother's trying to take away his stipend so he doesn't do more drugs. But what if he's already got a stipend? What if he's already got a monthly allowance? Like, let's say Cher's like, I'm cutting you off, but he's been saving money or something. Let's say that Elijah Blue Almond has been saving money and he's got an escrow account. Let's say he's been, not just blowing all the money up his nose and with heroin and all the drugs, all the shit that you could buy. If he's got thousands of dollars or a multi-millionaire. And let's say he's getting the royalty checks from Greg Almond and he's got some inheritance money from that. And let's say she can't control everything. She just can control allowance and royalties from her estate. Let's say she could cut him out of the will or do something like that. But what if he could get a hold of enough money to get the right drug dealers, and he could get the heroin and get the what is heroin, by the way? What is opioids? Opioid receptors. It's basically people take opioids so they don't feel any pain. But here's the rub about heroin and opioids and fentanyl. Any real lived life is pain and suffering. You don't have to be a Hindu to realize that, but every good life is suffering. Every triumph is through struggle. Yes. Right. So you have a lot of people out there trying to avoid pain, avoid the hits. And, the hits are going to come. You can't avoid it. Yeah. I guess that's the tragedy. I've learned to accept that the hits are coming and they're going to hurt and they're going to fucking burn. It could even be catastrophic. It could be World War III. It could be another plague. It could be whatever, but it's fucking coming and there is nowhere to run. There's nowhere to fucking hide because the pain is coming down. And nobody's going to get out. Like Jim Morrison, his biography. No one here gets out alive. That's for sure. So the pain is coming, and human suffering is coming. So what? How can we cope while we live the rest of our lives? We could try to help others. We can try to help ourselves. We can try to be good to everyone around us. We can do definitely a lot of great things. Yeah. We could actually do a lot of good while we're here in the short time that we're alive. So if I just lock myself in a room for 20 years until I overdose on heroin, that's not going to be beneficial for anybody. It's going to be just whatever. But, So instead of putting something, fuck Robert De Niro and fuck Cher or whatever on the conservative commentary, I said, I hope Elijah Blue Almond, I hope he cleans up, and he's able to make Dead Sea 3. I'd like to hear. Because you have Dead Sea 1, Commencement, you have Dead Sea 2, which is Phantasmagoria. I'd love to hear Dead Sea 3. with Dr. Inner and Elijah, you know, I'd like to see Dead Sea 3. Instead of him ending up dead through heroin overdose, I like to hear the third record, you know, because I've always been a Dead Sea fan. So, yeah. I don't really think he's talented, you know, as talented as his father or mother necessarily, but I think he has a talent of his own. You know, maybe he's neglected that talent over the years in his heroin addiction. It's unfortunate. I'd rather him make Dead Sea 3 than him become dead. So, as a brother to another brother, this is no laughing matter to me. A little bit too high on the fanage. Ooh. It's like the beer had disappeared. We have a beer disappearance? The disappearance? Oh. We got a code 211. Coors Molson. What's going on with the computation, Doug? Yeah. Computation, Doug. I know a lot of people might think that artificial intelligence is going to enhance advertising. Yeah. So for years and years in hurricane-prone Houston, Texas, for years and years, maybe decades, there had been commercials about Generac generators to help your... So basically when the power grid fails, the Generac system kicks in and it powers your house using fuel, propane, or I think is it natural gas? Yeah. For a number of hours. For a certain number of hours. Now, in the commercials, everybody's happy, everybody's satisfied with the product, everything's honky-dory. What kind of commercial kind of turned out to be true? It was during Hurricane Beryl, my mother bought a new air conditioning unit system for this place, entirely new system unit. And it was still under warranty, so it clogged up and malfunctioned. Rescue Rooter got out here, it was still under warranty, and the guy helped do it, and he showed me what was going on. So that was legit. That was like a fairy tale almost. I got it fixed before my parents got home from Florida to take a Florida trip to kind of de-stress. You know, the Biden-Harris administration had killed their business. My stepfather and my mother's their jobs and their business. So they went to Destin to kind of blow off some steam about it. You know, so it was rough. And so when they came back, I had the rescue router guy, and he showed me what to do, and he fixed the air conditioning unit. So the air conditioning unit was back up. But the Generac, and I asked Grok 3, on Twitter X, is everything fine with Generac? And they're like, oh no, there's been lots of controversies. A lot of faulty parts, a lot of explosions, a lot of fires, a lot of lawsuits. So I kind of lost confidence in Generac. The commercials make it look like it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to your house. That's going to be the greatest backup power system if the power grid goes down. Yeah. So, will artificial intelligence kill advertising? Because will they be like me? Is artificial intelligence something that would tell the truth at all costs and to give people the facts? No matter the political affiliation, no matter the feeling, no matter the particular ideology? Or is artificial intelligence going to be programmed with a particular viewpoint and ideology, and people are going to ask questions? All right. However, Grok 3 seems to me to be kind of impartial, like a reporter, like a cold robot would be. They seem to be kind of impartial, not entirely. And I can't say I trust any kind of artificial intelligence program, but this one seems to be giving me the skinny. And if you have, a lot of these home companies that their entire business model relies on tricking and lying to people about their businesses and about their corporations. And Grok 3 tells you the customer complaints and everything. It compiles all the data to people when you ask about Renewal by Andersen or Generac or some kind of home repair or some kind of company. And they tell you exactly their track record and the customer lawsuits and complaints. And that kind of, I think, that informs the customer in a more realistic, real-time sense than marketing and commercials could ever do. Yeah. So is artificial intelligence the death of commercials and marketing? It seems to me that, doing these flowery, fake commercials and shit that doesn't pan out in real life, the idea that they show Wendy's, this big plump sandwich, you go to Wendy's, you get this piece of shit. The fact that this isn't going to be cool anymore is an amazing thing for customer service, because so the advertising industry is going to be fucked in the AI world because AI might do something really crazy and tell the facts or the actual real truth of things and products and companies. Oh my God. The advertising industry, just like the political industry, is based off lies and facts. based off bravado and shit that is not based on facts. So maybe commercials aren't cooked in the future, but fuck, advertising is fucked in the future if artificial intelligence tells the consumer and the customers the truth about the products, that they don't work or they're faulty or they're getting ripped off or whatever, or there's tons of lawsuits or there's customer dissatisfaction. My God. Oh, that's pretty astounding. Yeah. Have you heard a song like that before? I know you've heard a song that went like, oh, 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 I don't mean to be like the Norm Macdonald of AI. You know, it's like Norm Macdonald joke was, well, I knew this guy, you know, he's a great guy, but was he attacked by Al Qaeda? No, he wasn't attacked by Al Qaeda. Was he attacked by a thug? No, he wasn't attacked by a thug. Was he attacked by a gang member? No, he wasn't attacked by a drug cartel member, an illegal alien. No, he wasn't attacked by that. His heart attacked him. He had a heart attack. His heart attacked him. You know, yeah, my dad, he wasn't attacked by, robber. You know, he was attacked by his heart. His heart attacked him. He had a heart attack. Yeah. You know, my grandpa, you know, he fought in World War II, Vietnam. And was he killed by the Japs or the Axis power? You know, the Nazis. Was he attacked by the Nazis or the Japs or the fascist Italians? Was he attacked by the Gooks and the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese? No, his heart attacked him. His heart. He had a heart attack. Or the Norm Macdonald one. That Norm Macdonald. Yeah, I went saw that movie Dirty Work. Yeah, my friends at work, they always called me, this one guy would always call me like the Pina Colada song when it came on. He goes, oh, that's you, dude. And, yeah. Do you like Pina Coladas and get stoned in the rain? It's by Rupert. Is his name Gary Rupert or some shit? His name is it Gary Rupert? Rupert Everett? Or I don't know. Now I'm just coming up with Rupert's. It's like Rupert. Is it Gary Rupert? Anyways, whoever wrote the Pina Colada song. Do you like Pina Coladas? Getting caught in the rain. I ain't much into health food, but I am into champagne. Yeah, that one. And so kind of the weirdest one-hit wonder of all time. Really, it is. Yeah, it's bizarre. This dude. He's like nerdy. He's not that, handsome or whatever. He comes out one of the biggest one-hit wonders of all time. That kind of out of the fucking blue, too. Yeah. And then, Rupert Holmes. Rupert Holmes. That's his name. All right. I said Gary and Rupert. No. It's Rupert Holmes. Yeah. He did Pina Colada song, Escape. Right. And every time I worked at a liquor store, my coworker, Thomas, he'd go, Scott, that's you, Escape, the Pina Colada song. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, acting like that's my favorite song or some shit. And I was like, oh. So, in one of the last, Chris Farley movies there ever was, because he overdosed on a speedball. It's this thing called a heroin and a cocaine. I never done one. I've done cocaine, but I've never done heroin. So, knock on wood, thank God. And but this speedball is like an upper and a downer at the same time. It's an opiate, so it stops your breathing and your heart, and accelerates your heart into overdrive at the same time. So that's speedball. So you don't want to do that. All right. So that's the same. John Entwistle died on speedball, and so did Chris Farley. And so in this movie, Dirty Work, it's like a movie, but like his humor doesn't translate well into like a 2-hour format, right? I think they could have given Norm Macdonald better scripts than this, but like I don't know, it just didn't. His movie career didn't pan out, unfortunately. So there's a part where they're in the bar, and there's Chris Farley, and he's like, they're all fucked up and shit. And he goes, Rolling Stones, Street Fighting Man, G7. And then he pushes the button, and it's like, and then it plays the pina. It goes, do you like pina coladas? It plays the pina. Because the fight breaks out in the bar. Let me give the context with Norm Macdonald, and doesn't his like sidekick like have a big heroin problem? Like these guys have like major drug problems. And how did I get off cocaine? I was like, well, I never had a cocaine. Cocaine's very expensive. You almost have to be rich to afford it. So that's kind of a barrier for me. So a lot of the barriers are financial ones, thank God. Because if I was really wealthy, I'd probably think about heroin and cocaine a lot more than I do. And so, thank God. Oh, thank God, man! If you were like a multimillionaire, you might be like Philip Seymour Hoffman or fucking Chris Farley. You might think about hard drugs. Yeah, but thank God I don't, because I know I can't afford that. Yeah. So that shit's expensive for those balls and shit. That's like banging Benjamins like a motherfucker. That shit sucks, financially speaking. So, yeah, fuck that. No, I realized what cocaine was. I realized when I did it, when I was 18, when I tried it, it was like, I sniffed the shit, and I was like, oh, I feel like Superman. And then I was like, okay, I feel like Superman. And then me and my friends were like bouncing around, oh, we're Superman. Ooh, do. And then it crashed down, and we're like, oh my God, dude, what happened, dude? Oh, fuck, we're fucking sober again. And then I was like, oh God, never again, dude, never fucking again. Unfortunately, some people don't get the memo that cocaine is bullshit. So I understood exactly what it was. When I came down off the shit, I was like, oh, okay, it makes me feel like a god. All right, I know I'm not a god, so I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So, unfortunately, not everybody understands this about cocaine, about cocaina, about the tight white, about the whatever they call it. People around here, they just call it boulder as wide as your shoulder, or they call it tight white, and they call it fucking white and all this shit. La cocaína. That's what they call it. La cocaína. La cocaína. Coca-Cola. Ooh. No, hell no. Rupert Holmes, Pina Colada song. Yeah. I do really like that one. It's kind of a singer-songwriter, like storyteller kind of thing, so. I don't know. Is that my favorite song? My favorite groove? My favorite song? That's hard to say. Man, there's so many great songs, really, so. It's really hard to decide. What if someone put a gun to my head and said, "What's your favorite song, motherfucker?" I'd say, "I don't know, motherfucker. Blow my head off, motherfucker." Or I'd say some version of motherfucker. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. That doesn't make sense in the context of the guitar here. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. Yeah. So I hope Elijah Blue Almond doesn't, overdose on heroin. I never tried heroin. Yeah, I guess maybe Train Spotting. I saw that when I was like 19. About heroin abusers, and maybe it didn't look. You know what? Like the cocaine, when you see Scarface and he becomes Superman, he's like cocaine mountain. But like that movie is Train Spotting. That's an anti-heroin movie. That's a depressing fucking movie. When Ewan McGregor is all strung out on heroin, he's puking in the toilet and shit. Dude, that's a depressing fucking movie. That will make tons of people never, ever want to do drugs. That movie alone will make people never want to do heroin or fentanyl or fucking opioids ever, ever, ever. That movie does not inspire people to do drugs. That movie inspires people not to do drugs. Fucking watch Train Spotting. You will never want to fucking do drugs ever. Ever. Yeah, even if fucking he swims into the toilet and shit, I don't care. Even if he gets 17-year-old pussy, it's not fucking worth it, dude. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's 22 and he gets 17-year-old pussy, there's no fucking thing that makes it fucking cool at all. Yeah. The real aspect is that drugs aren't good and drugs aren't cool. Drugs are something that doctors say, you know what? You got, an infection, we're going to give you some drugs. Really, drugs are kind of the purview of the doctors. You know what? Somebody stabbed you in the heart, or somebody stabbed you in the back with a knife. Well, we're going to have to give you some codeines or something like that. That's different. Someone set you on fire? Someone set you on fire in a terrorist attack? Oh, we're going to have to give you some pain pills because, being burned alive is going to hurt. Yeah, drugs are for when you need it. Yeah, it's not for like, life kind of is just not that easy. So I'm just going to zone out on some shit. Yeah, that's not what it is for. You know what I mean? So drugs are for when you really need to use them. Drugs are when you need pain relief for something that's traumatic or hard or life-threatening. Right. That's what drugs are supposed to be for. I'm not saying there's not recreational drugs, but I'm saying drugs in general are meant to be when you need to use them. It's kind of like break glass in emergency only when there's a fire, right? It's like break glass. There's a fire. I need emergency. Boo. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be all the fucking time there's an emergency. So, I don't know. I know there's tons of people in the world that don't feel the way I do about drugs. That, maybe I'm just English, Irish, Native American, and it's just like, oh, I just want a pint every now and then or something. Just have a few beers every now and then, everything's all smooth. Yeah. Maybe that's the Irish or the English or the Cherokee Indian in me, the Native American that says, you know what, just have a few beers and just chill out. No drugs. Just enjoy it. Just mellow out. Right? Just lift a pint and fucking deal with the pain. Deal with the shit. It's coming anyway. You might as well get used to it. I'm not saying that people should get used to depression or misery or anxiety. I'm saying you should get used to the pain of the grind. Yeah. I'm not saying that people should get used to failure or pain or heartbreak or anything like that, or depression or anxiety or any kind of negative emotion. I'm not saying people should get used to that. I'm just saying that people should get prepared for it, though, because probably the pain's coming down in some form or another. Yeah, creativity is the way I deal with my pain. Yeah, I could use drugs and alcohol to numb the pain, and I can do that to varying degrees or extents. But at the end of the day, the only way to face your pain is to confront it. You have to do that mostly sober, and it really sucks. But you can use weapons of self-destruction, weapons of self-medication. But one day, no matter how smart you are, no matter how creative you are, the fucking system's gonna hunt you down. And they're gonna give you the full pain. There's no way to run. And there's no way to fucking hide. You just have to face it and look it directly in the fucking eye. One day you're gonna have to look Satan and Lucifer right in his fucking eyes and defy Lucifer and Satan. You're gonna have to look the evil right in the fucking eyes and break it. There's no sanctuary from this evil. There's no sanctuary from this pain, except the solace of the confrontation of good versus evil. The only solace we have as men is to confront evil in this world and become victorious against it. We will not succumb to fear. We will not succumb to pain. And thereby, we don't succumb to death itself. Like Alexander the Great once said, you don't know fear, you don't know pain, you don't know death. All you know is victory, period. And that's the best way to be a soldier, to complete our objectives, is without fear and anxiety, without emotional baggage, without crutches, but with full vigilance. That's the only way we can achieve maximum victory, as Alexander the Great, the Macedonian Empire, once instructed us to do. The greatest warrior the world has ever known, the greatest conqueror, even more powerful than Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan himself. Alexander the Great could have conquered the entire world and have made a unified civilization and planet. Based off Greek, Macedonian, and Hellenistic ideals of democracy and freedom and liberty. Imagine the world he could have created if he did not die so tragically early. But his ideals and his speeches do live on today. Alexander the Great, son of Philip of Macedon, a savior of Western civilization, a conqueror of the world. Was that such a tragic idea? That a man wanted to rule and conquer the entire world? It became a savage idea. But Alexander the Great had a great idea. His idea was to conquer the entire world, but to be just to those that were conquered, to give them freedoms and liberties in his new empire. And that's something the Nazis never afforded their conquests and other regimes before that. So Alexander the Great was unique as a conqueror because once he had conquered your army, he did not rape your women. He did not pillage you. You were part of his empire then, and you were respected and treated with respect. You were not lower class. You were in the same class as he. So he was a different... Alexander the Great was a different conqueror because he didn't rape your women. He didn't starve your children. He didn't murder your men. He was a very different conqueror, a very imaginative, a very bold conqueror. Probably one of the best conquerors in history. He could have united the world if he didn't die or got poisoned early by his fellow soldiers. He knew that the sacrifice for freedom and liberty of man was even worth death itself. He knew the cost, but he tried to unite the world anyway in a bold, daring series of campaigns and conquests. He could have done it, I think, if he had enough time. But when do we ever have time? As men and women, we don't. We have very short lives. So, it's not that our lives are futile or without utility. It's just our lives are short and brief. We don't have the longevity of Moses, 800 years. We don't have the eternity of Christ for eternity. We don't have the biblical longevity of the Old Testament at our side. We only have limited mortality here on the real world. So beyond fables and legends, we are just mere mortal men in a postmodern technological society. Overcome your fears, and you will conquer death itself. There's 2 moons around Mars called Phobos and Deimos. The 2 moons are called fear and death, or fear and dread. So, is the idea of fear greater than the reality of fear? I think so. We're always afraid of something. Like we're always afraid to do something. Like we're always afraid. Like our whole lives we're just like, oh man, I gotta go to my first job interview. I'm so afraid of what's gonna happen. Oh man, I gotta go to 8th grade. Oh, I'm so afraid. Oh man, in 9th grade I gotta ask, oh man, I like this girl Lucy. Oh, I'm so afraid to ask her out. I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. You know? Most of our lives we're like, man, I'm so afraid to do this stuff. I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. Conquer your fears, and you will conquer death. Colin Farrell, Alexander the Great. That's a really great movie. Not because my family is Irish heritage and Colin Farrell is Irishman, but, well, I always thought Irish acting is quite excellent. By the way, have you ever seen an Irish musician or Irish actor that sucked? Actually, I can't recall one. Can I recall an Irish actor or Irish musician that sucked? Anybody? Anybody ever heard crappy Irish music? Anybody ever seen a shitty Irish movie? It probably exists because of, existence and all that stuff. But, class, does anybody care? Anybody ever heard anything that sucked that was Irish? Musically or artistically? Okay. Okay, I'll write it down. That's rude to tell Japanese girls that you like dark bush, black bush. How did their proteins actually become dark bush? I guess that's a genetic thing in their genetics, but it's like their black hair, it's like so shiny. It's like coal. It's like anthracite coal. What is weird about the Japanese people? It's like their black hair is so shiny. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Their proteins are so, it gleams or something like that. It's like really cool looking. Yeah. I'm not just talking about pussy bush. That's calling me a pervert. I'm just saying, like, have you ever noticed that, like, Japanese people, they have shining hair, dude? Like, shiny proteins? Like, how did their hair get black? Like, dark black, like coal and, like, oil, but it shines up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I guess, yeah. I guess Japanese, I've listened to a lot of Japanese. The longer I listen to it, the longer I listen to the music, the more I understand it actually. The more it makes sense. Yeah. So it might be a question of exposure. So I think if you're a foreigner and you're like, oh man, I want to learn Japanese. And then you're like, oh crap, this is crazy. Like, look at all these characters and shit. Like, but if you're exposed to Japanese long enough, you'll start to recognize the forms. So I'd say don't despair because you don't understand it immediately. But I think if you immerse yourself, maybe you don't have to go to Japan itself to immerse yourself around Japanese people to understand Japanese. But if you immerse yourself in Japanese music, Japanese art, Japanese culture, if you just do Japanese, you know what? Eventually, I think you'll understand Japanese. It's just like kind of like, probably so, even if you're English. Yeah, even if you're Western or whatever culture you're from. I think if you just listen to a whole bunch of Japanese records over and over, you'll start to understand, the forms, the structures. So I don't think, I think the despair comes from maybe somebody from Russia wants to learn English and they get in despair. They're like, oh crap, I don't know how English works, But for English people, it's just like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I said my ABCs. Now I'm fucking, I don't give a fuck. No, that's not the end of it. But anyways, so it's the alphabet. And the alphabet is just the structure of the language. And then you learn about the rules of how the alphabet is structured together. And that's first grade. So in kindergarten, they teach you the alphabet. First grade, they teach you how the sentences are structured together, right? The first, like, simple sentences, like, oh, I went to the bathroom, or, oh, yo, I farted, or something like that. And then the next one, then it gets more into comprehension. Then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, right? So every level of the English that you're doing gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so it's overwhelming because somebody's like, from England, they're like, man, I want to learn Chinese. I want to fucking learn Chinese. And then they're like, oh yeah, Chinese. And they're like, oh fuck, Chinese. Right? Because they have no fucking what this is. They're like, I want to learn Chinese. Okay, so somebody like from India is like, man, I want to learn English. Yeah. Or somebody from China is like, man, I want to learn English, dude. And he's like, English? What the fuck? Yeah. So a lot of times people are like, with languages, they're like, man, they want to be like Neo from the Matrix. I want to learn Kung Fu, and I want to learn Chinese, and then I want to learn Arabic after that, and then I want to learn fucking, yeah. You just want to upload it in your brain where you don't have to think about it. There's no work involved. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen, man. No, I couldn't really operate in Japan, but I understand. I think after so much Japanese songs, so much Japanese videos, I think I could kind of understand kind of what's going on. You know what I mean? A little bit. And even some simple phrases, I think I could accomplish that at that certain point. I don't think I could have questions about, I don't think I could go to Japan and have conversations about God and quantum physics with Japanese people. I think what I could do is understand basic Japanese, maybe. Even though it seems foreign and complicated to my Western Greco-Roman alphabet brain. Well, that's our alphabet. It's Greco-Roman alphabet. So, running out of beer here? Running out of beer? Who did that? Oh, it was me. Ran out of beer. Ran out of beer. My beer is empty. Ran out of beer. But I didn't run out of cheer. Don't run out of queers, gays, fags. This is like the end part where it's like fags. That's what we're talking about. I guess all those people in this century were trying to do like thought control. Like people thought that thought control would lead to a utopian civilization or liberal civilization, but just in shit. I never believed in restrictions of freedom of speech, except for terroristic threats and libel and slander. What's in the U.S. Constitution? So I never really believed in that there should be freedom of speech restrictions. So why should there be? The U.S. Constitution, the First Amendment, was not put there to protect people's feelings or their viewpoints. It was put there to protect people's right to speak, not the content of what they were going to speak about or why they would speak about it or anything like that. So I think the modern liberal, they confuse the freedom of speech with the freedom of their feelings, and that's the issue today. Yeah, people don't understand that the freedom of speech was guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution, the First Amendment, the Bill of Rights. The reason why that was guaranteed is that anybody could speak a viewpoint as long as it wasn't, a threat to people's lives. So they could do that all day. So somebody could do an atheist channel in the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and say, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. God is a sham. God is shit. Fuck God. All right. The next guy could be like, I'm a Jew. I believe in the Torah. Oh, I'm a Jewish. And the next guy could be like, I believe in the Muslim. And the Muslim Islam. Ooh. Ooh. I'm the Islamic Muslim. Ba 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 Muhammad. Boom. Allah. Umami mai. Or what, whatever they do. So the freedom of speech could be like, or maybe the freedom of speech could be like, I'm a nihilist. I don't believe in anything. I'm a nihilist. I don't believe in anything, like the Big Lebowski. There you go. Bringing it back full circle, yeah. What is the Muslim faith? They go, The Islams, they go, As far as I remember. Ooh. So what do the Islams go? They're like, ooh, 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 in the Arab, in the Jihad, yeah. That's how you make friends. You make fun of Islam. You got to make buddies in the world, Ooh, Islamic Jihad. Ooh, Muhammad Allah, boo. Yeah, that's the way you get the Muslims on your side. You make fun of their religion. Yes, of course. That's why you do it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Camels and donkey shits. Ooh. Yeah. Well, that's how we make friends here. Yeah. The way we make friends with the Middle East is making fun of their religion. No doubt. That's what we do, baby. Ooh. America, fuck yeah. Or like you make fun of like Islamic people. Derpa, 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 derpa. When they killed the terrorists and the Islamic people, they're like derpa, 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 derpa. You know, I didn't really think that Islamic people were like derpa, 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 derpa. But then when I thought about it, maybe they are derpa, 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 derpa. Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Yeah. Derpa, derpa, derpa. America, fuck yeah. America, kiss on my ass, suck on my balls. Was that such a classic movie, dude? I might not have liked Gone with the Wind, but when I saw, yeah, America, Team America, World Police, it was kiss on my balls, suck on my dick, or kiss on my dick, suck on my balls. I was like, man, I read Shakespeare, I read fucking Ernest Hemingway, I've read Harry Potter, I read Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien, but this, I read the Bible, I read fucking all this stuff. You know what? This kiss on my ass, suck on my balls. I was like, oh my God, this is like a literary leisure right here. Kiss on my nuts, suck on my balls. America, fuck it. I was like, oh my God. Why was I even reading Ernest Hemingway? Why did I ever read Ernest Hemingway? Or George Orwell? Why? Why did I ever even go to education school? Why did I ever read anything? Why? When I could have kiss on my dick, kiss, suck on my ball. I mean, why get educated when you can get educated by Matt Stone and Trey Parker in South Park? Lick on my nuts, suck on my ball dicks. Yes. Man. That shit. America, fuck yeah. Lick on my nuts, suck on my ball sex. And at the end, it should be like, ball sex. Fucking got it. Why not, dude? Yeah. Robert Frost, Henry David Thoreau, T.S. Eliot. Fuck that, dude. Matt Stone, Trey Parker. Don't read T.S. Eliot anymore. Read Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Lick on my nuts, suck on my balls. That's going to be the greatest poet of the whole 100 centuries.